Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Monday night. Where tonight on Top Split TV, we're coming to you live from Montreal in Canberra for Canberra in Canada, in Canada, for round 11 of season 20 of Sunday Night Lights. Where tonight it's not with the chaotic one, but rather Mr. Ben Snell joining me in commentary. Ben, a big night of racing ahead.
Yes, it's great to be here once again to help commentate Montreal, just like last season, Alex.
Perfect. That's it. Now I'm going to get that one out of the way so we can start seeing these guys come around the track. Of course, we're in quali here tonight. We got 8 minutes, 2 flying laps for the guys floating around. Our number one plated driver here tonight, Manu Luqueta. He is... is that going to work if I do that? Let me do this. No. Show multi-car. No, not going to work. Oh, well. We'll just leave it out there. Trust me, that's Manu Luqueta on screen at the moment as he comes through the final chicane to commence his first flying lap around here. Actually, while we're here, why don't we take a look at the points coming into tonight? And I will actually get rid of that and get rid of the quali thing if I can. Oh, Ben, what are you expecting tonight while I get my overlay all sorted?
I am expecting chaos and carnage, just like every time we're here. There's a bunch of chicanes, a hairpin, and lots of walls. Nice and close to the track as well, so usually a small incident around this track usually turns into a big incident when the rest of the field piles into it. So it's been some solid chaos in the warm-up races. I've seen DJ splitting the middle of a few wrecks, and then of course being involved in the wrecks again himself on his live stream while we've been waiting to get this one underway. So yeah, it's gonna be chaos, but there's gonna be some brilliant battles definitely towards the end of the race, Alex.
Yeah, that's my hope as well as we take a look at the championship standings coming into round 11. Benny Simonson out on top with 274 points, dominating the season. The Scandinavian driver with Lee Anderson in P2 for UK and I. Movano's Manu Luqueta, who were just on screen in the background there, he is in P3. Perez for Cross Simart competition, he's in P4. Anthony Catt for UK and I in P5. Leading ANZ driver is, of course, the Team Milo boss man, your teammate, Mr. Russell Clark, leading the ANZ charge here tonight, Ben.
Yeah, so it's great to see Russell have a serious turn of form this season, getting himself into points grabbing positions every week. So it's great to see him flying the Australian flags. We of course don't have Benny Smith, who was around last season and really dominated and gave our last final hope for Australians taking out an SNL championship. But one thing I do notice is Benny Simonson seems to be sitting on his laurels at the moment, because he's not in tonight. I see he's already in the chat, but not having a race tonight, Mr. Simonson.
Nah. Simpson sitting out tonight admiring the new Scandinavian flag in the overlays. Don't say we do nothing for you, Benny. We got it in there at the end. But Anthony Catt leading the way after the first flying lap. He's out there in front at the moment, 153.3. The time's really hot there for lap one there. Ben, I can tell you, 53.3 is fairly moving in quali.
Yeah, definitely. Even in the race, a low 53 is pretty hot without draft. We're going to see some of our fast guys dip into the 52s throughout the race. We may see one in quali. We won't see a faster lap from our number 2 driver at the moment, Manuel Luchetta, because I did see him pull over, so he must have copped the one extra slowdown, so he's pulled off. But again, our top 4 are only separated by just over a tenth of a second, with Pablo Espes and Cristobal Otero just right in behind the next 2 drivers there.
Espes into the wall of champions. That means he's not going to improve his time either.
I've put the mockers on him, of course, so that's gone really well. It looks like I've really slipped back into this commentator's groove. I'm already cursing people, so Looks like it's going to be a wild night ahead, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to see. Espers is no Perez. Here we go. He's the next one to finish. Another one into the wall goes. Who's that? Otero. He's in the wall as well. No joy there for the Iberian.
Cat's in the wall as well. Everybody's doing a DJ and just binning the second lap. So speaking of DJ, did he make it through on his second run?
No, he didn't. I don't think he made it.
Did anybody actually put a second lap in for this round?
I'm just trying to see. Matsushinsky's on his cool down. Perez, he looks like on a cool down. Clark. Oh no, Perez is on a hot lap, I think. Christian Perez got some pace too, as young Mr. Perez. And as we see him come out that, why don't we ride on board here if I can find the right. Here we go on the roll bar. See Mr. Perez go through the Cross Simart competition livery, showing us how to get it done around here as he comes down into turn 10 at the end of this straight. Grabs fifth gear into the braking zone, into the hairpin, down into first. Actually turning quite early. I thought he might come in a bit later than that. As we head up the back straight now. The Casino Straight, the longest part of this circuit, of course, making the hairpin the most important corner on the track. It's also a great passing opportunity. This, I don't know about you, Ben, this is one of the most dangerous passing opportunities I think you'll see in racing here, this final chicane, as we see Perez come through. Sorry,
and everybody still wants to go for it. So, of course, the Skippy's being quite drafty. It's very easy to be side by side coming into that final chicane, and everyone definitely likes to have a go into it. That's for sure.
53.3 and Skoltz coming out. It doesn't really help Perez much, and Skoltz now he's out as quali comes to an end, and we might just grab our grid. Anthony Catt from UK and I taking his first pole of the season from memory, the 53.3. Nobody bettering, not even himself bettering his first lap. Manu Luqueta for Thrustmaster Mivano Racing, he's out of P2 tonight. Pablo Espes for R70 team out of P3. Cristobal Otero from across Simart competition, he's out of P4 tonight. Lee Anderson for UK and I out of P5. George Matsushinsky makes a return to Sunday Night Lights. He's out of P6 tonight. Dennis Johansson from RLR Abruzzi Esports. Dennis's new esports team there. He's out of P7. Anthony Jones for Team Torpedo out of P8. Alvaro Garcia for Iberia out of P9. William Cabrera for Iberia out of P10. Corey Lean, the ANZ driver, making a return to the top split tonight out of P11. Christian Perez also from across Simart competition out of P12. And I'm going to see if I can hit the next page. There we go. Russell Clark for Team Milo, leading ANZ driver in the championship out of P13. John Skoltz, his teammate, out of 14th tonight. Juan Garcia from Iberia out of P15. Alvaro Paredes, Alvaro, out of P16 tonight. Craig Biley, he's out of 17th. The ANZ driver, Jay McCabe, similarly out of 18th. And France Mittendorfer, there's a mouthful, out of P19 tonight, some 2 seconds off the pace. I tell you what, Ben, looking forward to this one. 14 laps, I think it is around here. Might be one less if... anyway, we'll find out in a minute. Two less. Cat on pole. Let me see if I can find a decent camera angle. Oh, that's about as close as we're going to get. As the guys line up for their race here tonight, who's your money on?
Oh, I think my money's probably on Lucetta. Anthony Catt is on pole, but Lucetta's definitely shown he's got the brakes.
He does. Big brakes, Luqueta, they call him. He does have the brakes indeed. But I tell you what, I've been really impressed with Catt as they get underway. Down in the first... Oh, into the rear. I tell you what, there's Espes there and Anderson, I think it was, into the rear.
There's more carnage further back. It looks like... the Milo guys are obviously involved. Alvaro Vasquez is unfortunately out of the race already, Alex.
Yeah, just saw him. He's pulled up and called for the tow as he heads back to the pits. Meanwhile, up front, we've got Catt running away with it at the moment. with Lucetta tucked in behind Espes. Now, he's in P3. He's managed to hang on to that. He got a really good nudge in the rear there coming into turn 1, but managed to get away with it, Ben.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully the two guys in third and fourth can work together and get back onto the tail of Manuel there in second. It was who got shoved wide? I think it was Otero. They got shoved wide in that turn 1 fiasco, and that less than savoury rejoin causing a little bit of a commotion in the pack. It's good to see that DJ's already jumped up a couple of spots from his starting position, as well as he so often likes to do moving forwards, as we see Russell Clark going for a big move into the hairpin on Anthony Jones there. Anthony's missing his rear wing already, so he's not going to be the fighting force we saw last race, Alex.
No, Perez making it 3 wide with Clark and Jones, as you say, the Team Torpedo driver. Sitting to the outside as Clark moves across into the final chicane, braking zone. Wonder how the thing's going to pull up with no wings. Jones has certainly got a handle on these things, knows what he's doing. So they go line of stern through there quite comfortably, as we see Lean now make a move on Otero just behind Dennis Johansson, up to P6 for Lean, really showing his chops here in the early stages of this one. Meanwhile, up front, we've got Cat and Lucetta. They are out just over that magic 1 second mark, 1.2 now. Really need Espes and Anderson to get a wriggle on, lest these two break away.
Yeah, exactly. Espes is definitely the determining factor in how this race is going to go for the front two. If they can get away together and just cruise along and fight at the end, that's going to be happy days. But I can see that Espes has got the bit between his teeth right now. He's throwing that Skippy around as hard as he can and trying to tow the following drivers along. I know DJ is definitely going to be hoping that he bridges that gap, because I know DJ knows that when he starts trying to make the moves to move forwards, it's only going to cost time rather than gaining around a track like this, because there's no real place to draft past and gain free time like we see on some other tracks.
Yeah, it's going to be patience required in that second pack, which stretches all the way down to P12. John Scholtz there in the last of the Sunday Night Lights point scoring positions, but it really is one long train behind Espes, who's got a bit of tow around here and most of the other tracks that we go to be fair. So young Espes, he'll be trying to track these down, but I imagine there'll be a leapfrog attempt here from Anderson or Johansson, really trying to take advantage of the draft here up the big back straight.
Yeah, definitely. Anderson didn't look super confident going into the final chicane last lap, though. He had a very early turn and had to have 2 stabs at it, so I'm not too sure if he's going to have a look. I'm sitting on board with him now. It looks like he's just going to chill behind right now and hope that Espes can close the gap without the help of Anderson, as it does look like Lucetta's doing the same behind Anthony Cat. It's great to see Anthony up the front as well. It's good to see him. Usually he has the pace, but sometimes he just doesn't quite have the luck.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, we've lost someone out there. Oh, it looks like a big one too. I'm just going to go grab a replay of that one. Juan Romel Garcia looks like he's had a big one here. Coming out of the final chicane, Briley involved. And, oh, look at that. It's Briley into the wall, is it? No. We're going to keep going. Oh, yeah. And then just into the rear, the 14 car. Juan Ramon into the rear of Biley, I think it was. And both of those guys are done for the evening, I would suggest.
Yeah, definitely a solid impact there. The Wall of Champions does claim another victim. Just watching now, Corey Lean is starting to look like he's a little bit impatient behind DJ. So he's started poking the nose into a couple of corners that maybe aren't the best idea right now. Definitely got some pace behind him in the Skippy tonight. Let's see if he can keep his head about him, as it does look like Lucetta's having a look as well, unless he's just getting his nose out of the draft there behind Anthony.
Yeah, absolutely. He is tucked back in now as they exit the hairpin on the start of lap 3. 12 laps here tonight, the correct amount. Meanwhile, behind you got Espes. He's got half a second there on Anderson behind. Showing, you're right, showing a little less confidence you would expect. Johansson line astern. Perhaps wonder how long he'll wait there, particularly with the likes of Corey Lean behind him. Corey spending a lot of time in the second split, trying to take full advantage of his run in the top split here tonight as they come down. He's defending there pretty hard from Otero. No, Otero's just tucked back in. I thought he might have a look. These guys really showing cool heads here at the moment, relying on Espes to try and bridge that gap, which had momentarily got out to about 1.6, 1.5. It's back down just a tick under 1.3. Oh, big breaks from Espes into the first chicane. Got it down to 1.1. What sort of exit will he get out of there as we see the interval start climbing back up to 1.3? That shows fast out's probably the way to go.
Yeah, definitely. Espes is doing all he can right now to bridge that gap, and definitely showing the accordion effect, even with 2 cars, with Lucetta just starting to fall back into the groups at Espes. They were about 0.3 quicker that last lap by, so definitely looking like this is going to turn into a lead pack of about 7 or 8 cars, Alex.
Yeah, it could well be. If I start looking at the intervals behind, yeah, all the way down to 9th. Christian Perez in 9th. Very patient driver is Perez, got a lot of pace. I expect him to move forward, incidents notwithstanding. As, yeah, that gap's now under the magic second mark. Espes has bridged that gap. Anthony Catt, as you say, he's got the pace. Love to see him up the front there. And Lucetta stepping out, getting out of the draft, making it clear he's not going to make the move. As down that second pack comes, that's led by Espes. You've got Anderson and Johansson tucked in behind. They've got a 1.5 second gap now over Otero and Matsushinsky and Perez. It looks like they've busted away, and we might be left with a pack of 5 at the front.
Yeah, we missing Corey Lean. Oh, it looks like, unless I'm mistaken, we've lost Corey Lean somewhere, which is probably where that gap has come between the backs, Alex.
Yeah, I'm just trying to spot a moment. I can't see anything on the telemetry that says what happened there. Possibly picked up a slowdown. That's about the only thing I can think of. But yeah, he's absolutely probably the guy that's caused that gap and trying to get back on the back of that pack that would then try and bridge a gap. But I'm betting it's going to be, as we see Johansson make a move into the first corner now. And he's got it done there, getting past Anderson. Anderson not making it too hard for the Scandinavian driver as these guys look to make a pack of 5 up the front.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still coming to grips with DJ's car being black and orange. I keep skipping past him, looking for him on the in the cars, but definitely looking to move forwards now is DJ. I just had a quick look back in the pack, and Corey's car doesn't have any damage, so I'm going to say you're probably correct with the fact it was a slowdown. But this gap is getting smaller and smaller at the front, and it's down to about 6 or 7 car lengths now. So I'm going to say Pablo is well and truly in that magic second draft range now, and we're going to see these guys really punch up now into a pack of 5 lead cars.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be great to see a nice pack of 5 here battling out for the laps that remain as they come through that second to last chicane at 8 and 9. Very challenging, big mountainous curves here, but you can ride them well here and get a lot of time, particularly through that and the final chicane. It's where you can make a stack of time just riding those curves, but you got to ride them right, because otherwise, as we've seen in quali tonight, you ride that last chicane incorrectly and you're off into that wall on the exit of the final corner.
Yeah, for sure. It's a massive risk versus reward track. You can find so much time by just being that little bit braver than someone else on those curbs. But yeah, you're exactly right. If you get it wrong, it's not even the last chicane, it's any of the chicanes. You get a little bit too greedy on those curbs, you're going to end up backwards or end up in a wall. As we see, I'm just watching Lee there really get up aggressively on that final curb, and it looks like DJ's got the slowdown. So again, that risk versus reward factor, that's a pretty hefty slowdown on that final corner, Alex.
Yeah, it can be indeed. It's like close to 3 seconds on a bad one. So and it's such a fine line there. And what it does though, DJ showing some pace. If he can bridge that gap, which is now at about, what's it, about 1.2, 1.5. Look, he's still trying to clear it. 1.6.
He's still clearing it. Yeah, he's really struggling to get that slowdown cleared. Once you start going through corners, of course, the slowdown number starts creeping back up again. So it's really imperative to clear that slowdown before you start getting into the next complex of corners. Otherwise, you have an issue like DJ now, where you lose even more time because you have to spend so much more time clearing the slowdown. As the front pack is definitely just blown apart once again, and DJ's now leading the new second pack.
Yeah, absolutely. Espes now the only one really with a shot. Anderson getting caught up in Johansson's mistake there. Probably the guy that needs to work the hardest to get back in for a shot at the title here tonight. And then we see this tertiary pack led by into into the wall on the back of that. I think it was Otero, was it? No, it was Lean trying to chase down the guys in front, just on the exit. Oh, as we can see a move in front. Otero going up the inside of Matsushinsky there at the hairpin, getting it done, not costing them either of them too much time. But Lean, as we saw previously, going through the chicane at corners 8 and 9, throwing everything into the skippies tonight and almost throwing it into the wall at the same time.
Yeah, I think Corey's having a cracker of a time being in the top split. He's just definitely trying to drive as hard as he can. He definitely didn't look like he was scared of throwing it up the inside of a couple of skippies, and now he's lashed himself back onto this tertiary pack, as you say. We might see some more feats of overtaking prowess from Mr. Lane.
Yeah, absolutely. As he's right in amongst it now, he should be able to latch onto these guys and get amongst it once again. As we jump back up front, we've got Kat Luqueta and Espes, who are about 1.5, just 1.7 seconds ahead of Anderson, who's got about just under 1.6 on Johansson. So I think we're in a battle of 3 here, and it'll be all Anderson can do to stay in that little island and hang on to 4th, I would think, in the Puce-powered machine. But it's now Kat, Luqueta and Espes up the front. And once again, great to see Kat leading it throughout. The question is, will he have a smile on his dial at the end, or will the Italian and Iberian crew behind him seek to take the smile off his face?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to try and drop that pun somewhere later on tonight, Alex. I know it's sitting there on the tip of your tongue. So
I'm trying to hold
watching. Yeah. I'm watching Lee now. He's definitely pushing really hard right now, and he's matching the pace of the leaders. But of course, matching doesn't really get you up to the next pack. So he's definitely going to be sitting in no man's land. I don't know if DJ is going to have the pace to bridge that gap once again, especially having cars behind him. He's going to be driving with one eye in the mirror there with the likes of Lean, Perez, Otero, and Machusinki. Oh no, that was terrible. With George in that pack behind him, we know that DJ and George have had a couple of coming together already, so he's definitely going to be mindful of who's behind him. As we see Perez now looking to the outside, he doesn't want to wait around. He's straight through. DJ's done the smart thing there, just rolled off the throttle, let Perez through. He knows that Perez has got some. Oh, as Corey Lean dives down past George into the final chicane, takes the wall. Unfortunately, that's Corey out. Oh no, that was a moment of brilliance followed by a moment of not so brilliance there, Alex.
Yeah, why don't we go grab a look at Corey's effort there into the final chicane. Oh, actually, we should keep it going. He's chucked it up the inside there, coming into the final chicane. Looks like George is giving him the room. The rear of the car, he's done pretty well there, Lean, but he's carried a bit too much speed, and that'll put him in the really bad spot on that final curb there. No way that thing's going to turn, and off she slides into the Wall of Champions. And, I tell you what, Matsushinsky, dude, you got a bit of left hand down, and you'll likely not get into an accident there. He nearly ran straight up the back of Lean there. I wondered if he'd even seen him, although it would have been hard not to see what was going on there, if I'm honest.
Oh, it might have been a little bit of target fixation there, Alex. I know I've been guilty of that a couple of times myself. So, unfortunately for George, though, it does look like he's been dropped by the pack in front now. So he's going to have to do all he can to climb back onto the back of Cristobal, Dennis, and Perez there. And once again, they're looking a little bit feisty there compared to the pack in front. And of course, Lee Anderson sitting there on his little Puce Island. So we've got a pack of 3, a solo car, and then another pack of 3. But the tertiary pack is definitely the feistiest looking at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like Perez has made his way onto the front of that one. He's up just he's up to 7 positions from where he started, not qualifying very well was Mr. Perez. As you see, Johansson now going around the outside. Perez making room as they come through the final chicane, really looking to bridge that gap to Anderson. Still sitting about the 1.6 second mark. So they haven't really made much inroads into that, even with the draft up the back straight. So Anderson driving a really strong race. As we check out our leaders once again, satisfied are Luqueta and Espes, just to let Anthony Cat lead it away. He's doing good lap times. As we might just bring up the best time that these guys have put around here, 52.8, 52.6 Christian Perez with the fastest lap around here. I'll tell you what, that's moving for sure.
Yeah, crazy. And it's great to see Cat throwing into the 52s with no draft as well. So got to remember that number 6 car is not having any assistance from the draft right now. So to be well inside the 52s now as well is a fantastic effort and shows the pace that these front three definitely have. As we see, DJ and Christian working together are still only just cracking into the 52s themselves, with DJ doing 52.9 last lap, and of course Christian with that lift into the 53s. So it's definitely a much faster pack, those first 3 cars. But it does look like, just looking at the drivers driving along, that this third pack is actually slowly starting to eat into Lee Anderson there.
Yeah, still sitting about the 1.6 second mark. So I don't know that they'll catch him in the end. It's really, I think, going to be Anderson who's got the full spot to lose. Again, he's not bridging the gap up to the leaders, but neither are the guys behind him catching him. Look, to the naked eye, it looks like they're getting closer, but on the scoreboard, it doesn't seem to be.
Corey, yeah, the timing sheet doesn't line. Yeah, I was going to say Corey is falling back into the grips of Team Milo now, as we see Russell making a move around the outside of a possibly damaged Corey Lee in there. Skoltzy looks like he wants to have a look himself. So Skoltzy sends it up the inside there, as our 3 green cars now. All the Australians all in a small gaggle there through the final chicane, Alex.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's no doubt that Lean's carrying a bit of damage, but 2 for 1 go the Milo cars as Lean comes up the inside now. Can he hang on to it through turn 1? Back through 2 now. Skoltz will get the drive out of the corner, I feel, or at least the inside run. Or is Lean going to switch back into turn 3? No, he's not. He's going to tuck him behind. And if I was him, I'll tell you what, I'd be hanging on that draft for all I'm worth, noting that he's tagged the wall a decent couple of times tonight.
Yeah, for sure. So it does look like my naked eye was right. And DJ's closed the gap to about 1.2 seconds now. So just outside that draft range, it does look like he's actually falling away again. So maybe got a little bit too keen too soon. And the front pack still line astern, nose to tail. Lucetta right up on the gearbox of Anthony Cat through that last chicane. Definitely doesn't want to give up that second position. That's definitely the prime position coming out of that hairpin on the final lap. And I'm going to say that you're going to see probably a bit more squabbling between Lucetta and Espez for that P2 position than the guys going for the outright lead before lap 12. Although we're already right at the end of lap 10 now, so it's getting close to when everybody's going to start putting their chess pieces on the board, as it looks like Lucetta's now having a look around the outside of Anthony Cat, so that's a pass for the lead. Anthony's just going to let him go on by. No real fight there from Anthony Cat, letting Lucetta through now, so it's going to be interesting to see where these guys want to position themselves for the final lap, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to say, 2 laps to go. These blokes will start playing for the sheep stations about this point in the race, as we see Lucetta make the first move in that lead pack and getting it done cleanly. Anderson now, he is, Perez and Johansson and Otero right on the tail of Anderson. He's had it all of his own for the most part, but now he's got 3 flying drivers behind him to contend with for that magic P4 spot that they've all got their eyes on. Meanwhile, up front, our front 3 are getting it done. I'll tell you what, my money's on 3 wide. No incidents. 3 wide into the final chicane for this win tonight.
My money's on 3 cars go into the final quarter, 1 car comes out, to be perfectly honest. But let's see what happens. But again, yeah, it looks like that Lee Anderson has been caught. Christian Perez did a 52.5 that last lap, so absolute monster pace out of Christian there. So fantastic to see them close right up there, with Lee being all by himself, only doing 53.4. So it was almost a second that last lap that they got closed up there. So and Christian's already looking like he wants to get on the attack into the hairpin there. Gets his nose out, but tucks back in, thinks better of it, maybe looking to make a move down the final straight. You see DJ ranging right up behind them as well.
Yeah, it looks like Johansson sitting on the back there. with
Looks like Otero's had a slowdown as well. He's dropped right off the pack as well.
I was looking for that fourth car, and he's the one that's dropped off. As we see this time, Perez going past Anderson for the first time in many a moon, and he gets it done, does he? Or they're going to go 2 by 2. Anderson contesting the position, tucks back in just finally at the end. Probably most worried about being overtaken 2 for 1 style with Johansson tucked in behind. As this time,
we got to battle for the lead now. It looks like Cat and Lucetta are going side by side into turn 1 now with Pablo. That is the best seat in the house right now. So we go into our final lap. Cat on the inside, Lucetta on the outside. Pablo right behind them, trying to pick which lane is going to give him the path to victory. These guys are going to go side by side for pretty much the rest of this lap now, Alex, as we see Cat does sneak in front of Lucetta. What's Pablo going to do? He's looking very aggressive right now. He wants to get himself into that number 2 position before that final hairpin. Is he going to go for a dive now on Lucetta? No, he just sticks back in line. These guys are definitely fighting tooth and nail right now to get themselves into that prime position coming out of this final hairpin, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see Cat take a slightly defensive line there, making sure Lucetta, well, slightly, he's right over to the right-hand side of the track, making sure Lucetta doesn't look up into this second to last chicane at 8. Oh, they're right up close, does Lucetta go. We're riding on board with Espes now. Does he make the move here? No, Lucetta staying over to the right, defending from Espes. But I'll tell you what, he's going to tuck him behind. And this is where it's all going to happen, folks. Up this last straight, who's your money on?
Oh, I think that was a little bit of a tactical mistake there from Anthony Cat running wide to the final chicane. Doesn't give Lucetta the run, which means we are probably going to go 3 wide to this final chicane. My money's on whoever doesn't die in this final corner, Alex. As we see, doesn't look like Espes has got enough on him right now. As he starts to close in on the gap, we're going to see him go hard left now, and we do see him. Cat's blocked him, so Pablo's pulled out. Lucetta with the brakes into the final chicane. It was nice and clean there. It does look like big brakes Lucetta is going to move through and take the win here at Montreal, Alex.
Yeah, beautiful. And similarly behind, it was very clean there with Perez and Johansson. Why has Anderson just turned red there? No, he's all right. He's got through there. Anderson, unfortunately, finishing on the rear of those guys who chased him down. Corey Lean only managing 11th. Who's crossing? Skolt's trying to clear a slowdown on the line. Did he get it done? That's the question. Looks like he might have. He was very slow over the line, though. I'll tell you what, that's not how you want to finish, is it? As we see William Cabrera from Iberia coming across to finish his race, just ahead of Mittendorfer. Franz making his debut in Sunday Night Lights top split action with Mr. Jones, who did go in and get a pit and a rear wing. Not happy with how his car was handling without the rear wing, not surprisingly, no doubt. James McCabe now, he's coming across to round out his night here in 16th position. With what have we got? Garcia now coming up the back straight. We've got a couple of Garcias coming out to round out tonight's action. What do you make of the race there, Ben?
That was probably a bit more sedate than I'm used to, especially from our lead pack. They definitely played the game smart and broke away, used everybody else's mistakes to whittle the pack down. And then we saw a probably less than vigorous fight that we normally see in that final lap, especially that final sector. So congrats to Manuel for taking the win there. He did a great job. Anthony Cat writing in the chat that he slowed down too much, which is pretty accurate, I guess. He did slow down too much into that final chicane. Didn't take it 2 by 2. Pablo was waiting for them to kill each other, and everybody managed to get through there, no death, and to the victor go the spoils.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of the victor and the spoils, let's check out our race results here for round 11 from Montreal for season 20. Sunday Night Lights, Manu Lucetta for Thrustmaster Ivano taking out the chocolates here tonight. Very patient race in behind Anthony Cat, who from UK and I finished in second tonight, leading most of the laps. In fact, I think he led 10 out of the 12. Great to see him up the front and having a good result. Pablo Espes from R70 team, he's rounded out your podium here tonight. Christian Perez from Cross Simart Competition in fourth tonight, ahead of that secondary pack with Dennis Johansson for RLL Abruzzi Esports in P5. Lee Anderson from UK&I in P6 tonight after running a solo for much of tonight's race. Cristobal Otero from across Simart Competition also finishing in P7 after copying what looked like to be a significant slowdown. George Matsushinsky, he's rounded out in P8 tonight. Ninth tonight was Team Milo boss man Russell Clark, capitalising on a good result here tonight. John Scholtz, his teammate, sitting in P10. Corey Lean, I reckon he had the most action out of everyone here tonight, finishing in P11th. Alvaro Paredes from Iberia in P12, rounding out your Sunday Night Lights points getters. William Cabrera from Iberia in P13 tonight. Franz Mittendorfer, he's in P14. Anthony Jones, Team Torpedo in P15. Jay McCabe from ANZ in 16th. 17th tonight was Juan Garcia, 18th. And rounding out, it was Alvaro Garcia. And then I think I've just got, if I can find the right button, please. Please give me a button. Just do it.
Craig Byerly finished in 19th. Is that the one you're looking for?
Oh, no, it is. Race. Give me the finish. Come on.
11 laps down, unfortunately for Craig.
He retired. I'll figure out the button here eventually on how to do it, but apparently...
We got some team results.
Yeah, I know, right? Hang on. Is that it? No, that's not it either. No. All right, I give up. It was a good race though, Ben. I enjoyed that. A lot of common sense shown around the place more than anything else, but not the most exciting event of the night, but certainly for the driver's driver, I would suggest would have been enjoyable out there too. A lot of guys using their brains as much as anything else, I would have said.
Yeah, for sure. Still no lack of pace as well, especially with a DJ cracking a purple on the final lap. No doubt draft assisted, but a 52.3 from Dennis Johansson on the final lap. So absolute cracking pace. And again, up the front, it was a very high rate of pace. Even though the guys weren't fighting tooth and nail, they were fighting on the timesheets a lot of the time as well, especially with those gaps starting to form. You just saw the fastest guys just rise to the top, and the guys that managed to keep their noses clean are the ones that broke away and just used that extreme pace to keep everybody else at bay.
Yeah, absolutely. Just checking out the mayhem through that opening stage, and there's where I think Jones might have lost his rear wing. Was in the middle. Look at this. Like the Woolies car park on a Saturday morning, that one. There's the wing of aforementioned Jones spewed off into the background as the boys get it sorted through lap one. I tell you what, that was pretty messy, and that's why we didn't see those folks featuring too much. And Biley, is that him just pulling over there? No, he must have come to grief later on. But still, plenty of action to keep us interested here tonight, and hopefully some during the week. Mr. Snell, what do you got on during this week?
Oh, what have I got on during this week? I've got Wednesday night. I'm doing some more GT4 racing. I'm battling for a league championship in that, so that'll be good fun. And then hopefully Friday I'll be driving again as well with some TGRC Fridays, which is Mustangs and stock cars around Bathurst. So that's a track I haven't done enough laps of already, so I'll do some more next Friday.
Yeah, beautiful. And folks, of course, everything Top Split is sitting on your screen at the moment. If you'd like to join us here for the race broadcast and maybe for an interview after the race, we didn't have any tonight, but the Discord server on your screen at the moment is where to find us. This race, along with all the others in Sunday Night Lights, will be uploaded to the Top Split YouTube channel shortly. And of course, join myself and Corey live on Twitch and back here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And of course, Ben, you can see his live racing at Snellavision on Twitch. The little plug there. But until then, folks, thanks for joining us on track and in the chat. Your support is greatly appreciated. Hit the like, subscribe, and thumbs up in all the different places. It really does help us out. But until next time, folks, on behalf of Mr. Ben Snell, I've been your host, Alex McKellar, and until next time, I will say ciao for now.